I teach ethics course, and in this course invariably I'll be telling my students that do not mind to lie, to cheat, to deceive, or be corrupt. This I keep doing in my ethics course. Ethics course is meant to make the students more ethically sound and good, whereas I'm saying be bad. But why do you do like this? It is because I found that many students want to do good things, want to serve society, okay, want to serve, help people. But then they also have an idea of what is good and bad. So they want to be good and they want to serve the society. And they think it's very difficult. So they think that the society is for bad people. The society is bad. And how can you be good in this bad society? And you can't really be honest. This is for dishonest people. And when you prove what is meant by being good or being honest, they have an idea of being good is something like this. You should follow rules. Okay, being good means follow rules and follow law. And then what parents say about good. Okay, so they have these conceptions of good and they want to serve, and they think it is very difficult. I feel that students want to be good and then they join the service, and then very soon they will find that they are not able to do good things, and so feel disappointed and then resigned, as if they lost moral virginity. Okay, so this is my idea of what is going on. And once they lost moral virginity, then they think then you have anyway become dishonest and do whatever. But the point is, they don't question what is actually good, or why do they think something is good? Why has that come to be called good? There is no reasoning, there is no questioning. They have an idea of following rules and laws or what their parents have said and what newspapers have said. Okay. So I find it is just like they're being imprisoned by laws and moral code. And what I want is that before wanting to be good, they should explore what is good. Why something is called good? Is what is called good really good? Is what is called bad really bad? It means one should go for conscious ethical reasoning. Ethical reasoning. And I would say that reasoning is just what the part of the course or the aim of the course. Okay. So to students, moral code is a kind of an imprisoning experience. Okay. So it is in that context I question how these things are relevant. For example, lying. See, you don't want to say something, but the other person, your superior or others, expects you to say it, to expects you to reveal it. Then what other option do you have other than lying? You should lie. But if you don't want to lie, then it is like giving right to your information to them. You are granting them right to information to your life. So how can you not lie? That is, to think that you should not lie is to lose freedom. So not to lie not to lie under any circumstances cannot be a part of moral code. That is not good. You lose freedom. Same thing about cheating. The other person comes with a particular arrangement and both of you, okay, agree upon something. The other person not willing to follow, he is getting you into this fully knowing that he will not follow. But because you believe in honesty, you will follow. You will follow because you are a honest man, and he will not follow because he is not dishonest. He is not honest. So in a contract like situation, who will lose? I think this person who is honest will lose. I expect this so-called honest man to understand this game and be prepared not to honor his word under certain circumstances, or when the conditions are no longer valid. So what I feel is that somebody can make you say certain things, can make you promise certain things, and or you may say certain things when you are not free, and then they will expect you, because you are honest, you should do this. And if you are honest, again you are losing freedom. So I think these are all the games by which people who want to go by their word, will be compelled to do things which are not in their self-interest. and which may not be in the self-interest of anybody except the person who is cheating, except the person who is forcing. So what I want the students to think is that life is very vast. Life is vast. Life is, I would say, in the end, it is a mystery. Okay. Don't think you can follow a particular code and behave. And if you think a particular code is a must, it may be because, or it became a part of morality, it may be because that is a way of controlling you. So I want the students to find for themselves what is good, rather than follow what is good as told by the society. That can be about the law, it can be about anything, including what religion may have said. So this is the attitude. I want students to have an experimental attitude towards life. Experimental attitude towards life. Experimental. Okay. You can call it a mystery in a spiritual sense, or you can call it an experimental with a more scientific attitude. But never think that you should follow the code and then according to them you should be honest, you should be good, you should be a man of integrity. All these things, no. You should be prepared to be dishonest, to be prepared to be bad. Okay. But reflect on what you want, what are the ends you are seeking, what are the means, and why the code is like this. Okay. And one may think that if they are thinking like this, what kind of people they are going to be? I think people will be more intelligent. At least that is the assumption that I make. And I think in the end, my students come out to be better citizens. That's my belief. And anyway, even to the children, I find that the parents use the word good and bad to control them. Good boy, good girl. Good boy has to do so many things. Milk exactly at 7:30 a.m. And good boy sleeps around this time. And good boy always goes by what his mother says. Good boy does that, good girl does that. I find a lot of violence is being committed on the children in the name of good boy and good girl. So even to children, I ask when the parents are not around, that why do you want to be good? Can't you be bad? When are you going to be bad? Because I feel even a child has to know how to live. And that is freedom. And that is intelligence. Okay. Once I found my son, who may be in 5th or 6th class around that time. He was just outside the house here on a cycle, and not willing to cross the road and come inside. I asked him, why are you there? Why are you not coming inside? He said, mother asked me not to cross when she is not around. So I am here. I don't know for how long he has been here and whether his mother forgot about the whole thing. Means mother said, do this, and he's doing that. And when he enters engineering college, okay. So when we went with him on the orientation day, they gave certain a sheet of rules. Okay, it is about when not to use the phone, and I think it also said the phone should not have camera. So all kinds of sets of rules. So he read them and then he was so much worried. How can I, if I have to follow all of them, what is my life? Then I told him very, very clearly, remember for your life that whatever the rule there is, it is meant to be broken. That is the first point about it. Okay. But then, will you not be punished? Find out if the rule 1 is violated, are you being punished? Rule 2 violated, are you being punished? Rule 3, like this. So you will find there are certain rules which are not meant to be followed at all. And there are certain rules which may be which they insist that they should be followed. And also see what are the punishments that they are giving, and is the punishment less than what you would gain by not following the rule. So have such an approach and don't internalize these rules, and if you are violating them, don't think you are becoming a bad boy. So this is what I told him in his when he was entering engineering college. Otherwise, he was frightened by the rules. So I would say the world is like that. Between a police officer and a rowdy, if a police officer wants to follow the rules and rowdy has no rules, who will win? Obviously, a rowdy. Same thing about an IAS officer and a politician. How do we know those rules are good? In the same way, how do we know that moral code is good? And when do we say something is good? Okay. So, this reasoning should be inculcated in the children and definitely in the students. And very, very surely, a ruler of a principality, that is a prince, should know very, very clearly that if he follows the moral code, he wants to be good as per the moral code, it should be self-destruction. And it is with that spirit Machiavelli wrote this book, The Prince. Who is Machiavelli? He lived in Italy. He entered the service of Florentine Republic in 1498. He was serving in a republic. Okay. And he observed the highest layers from close quarters, not only of the Florentine Republic, because he was a diplomat, he had contacts with the top officials and the rulers and religious people in Italy and outside. But then there was a coup which took place in 1512 and he lost the job. And he was accused of playing a role. So he was tortured in 1513 for his conspiracy against the Medici. Medici are the rulers who came to rule, destroying the republic. Okay. Around that time, it was after this, he finished the book, The Prince, by the end of 1530. In fact, The Prince was a kind of a job application to the rulers. It was saying that this is how a ruler should behave. Anyway, the book title, The Prince, came much later of when the book was going to be published, which happened after Machiavelli's death. So we don't know what title he would have given. Okay. And after that, he also wrote Discourses on Livy between 1513 to 17, Art of War, Florentine History. I mean, Discourses on Livy continued some series. Art of War, series of books, Florentine History, 1525. Then died in France. Okay. So he wanted to say how a king should be. And he said things which people then and people even now found to be atrocious, horrible. So the word Machiavellian meant somebody cunning, mean. But when I read The Prince, I didn't feel like that. It seemed more like closer to my ethics classes where I would tell the students, be bad. So for example, in 15, I'll just tell you how my viewpoint is just what Machiavelli's viewpoint also. Going by chapter 15, this is where he states very clearly in chapter 15. This is exactly my concerns. Okay, chapter 15. Many have dreamt up republics and principalities which have never in truth been known to exist. Yes. I feel students have an imagination of what the administration is, which is not actually what it is. The gulf between how one should live and how one does live is so wide that a man who neglects what is actually done for what should be done moves towards self-destruction rather than self-preservation. Okay. The fact is that a man who wants to act virtuously in every way necessarily comes to grief among so many who are not virtuous. Therefore, if a prince wants to maintain his rule, he must be prepared not to be virtuous and to make use of this or not according to the need. This is the right attitude. It is not that this is the attitude right for his times. I would say this is universal. And second, taking everything into consideration, he will find that some of the things that appear to be virtues will be, if he practices them, ruin him. And some of the things that appear to be vices will bring him security and prosperity. Yes. These are universal truths. And they are not being said because he's a disgruntled man or something like that, because they are universal truths. So this is how I see. We'll continue our discussion.